Hey, come on. I've come down to the bay today to talk about facing fears. Not only my own, but also many of the kids that I meet can appear to find some things really scary. And it's easy for us grown-ups to dismiss it and just say, don't be scared, it's okay. There's lots more helpful things that we can do to help children learn to understand the things that they're afraid of and get braver in approaching those. And so whilst I just have a stick chuck break with the dog, we are going to dive into some of those suggestions today to help our kids manage their fears and become brave and awesome humans. Okay. The reason I've come to the bay to chat about this is because both Rollo, the rescue mutt, and myself have had our fair share of fears around water. I mean, they're at different levels. I can't quite get Rollo completely in the water. I'm happy to get in the water, but deep water and seaweedy water has always kind of given me the heebie-jeebies. And so tapping into the things that I still feel afraid of as an adult has helped me to consider, like, how do I manage my fears and what parts of that can we apply to supporting our own kids in understanding and becoming braver. Some of these suggestions are based on what's been helpful for me and also helpful for my dog, and of course the many kids that I meet as a speech and language therapist. Firstly, I would suggest that wherever possible, you acknowledge the fears that your child is experiencing. It can be easy to simply dismiss them and say, like, it's not scary, don't be afraid. But the reality is that your kid is feeling afraid about it. And so it's really useful to just acknowledge that. It helps with your child's emotional literacy and also their ability to learn to trust their body, which is so important to well-being and autonomy. So yeah, if you're feeling afraid, then that's okay, and we can talk about it. When you acknowledge the fear, then it opens up this discussion, this opportunity to explore and maybe get a little bit braver. Related to that, I really encourage you to give your child control if at all possible. For Rollo, he used to not even dip a toe in the water. It was so scary for him. But giving him the time and the control over when he gets in the water and how far he gets in the water, he's got braver over time because we've let him be in charge of how he approaches and then backs away from that thing that's scary. Depending on your child's language level, there's also lots of opportunities to talk about the thing that's scary. For me, going into deep water, it's been so helpful to talk with my husband about, like, the details of, like, what is out there, tell me what you see, what have been your experiences in deep water, and to also talk and kind of debrief about the times when I was brave and went into the deeper water. So for your child, that might be reading stories or looking at photos, or maybe even just kind of talking through your own experiences of that thing that's scary. Another thing to consider is to look for the things that might offer some additional support. For me, booties in the water has helped me be way cooler about sharp rocks and heebie-jeebie seaweed. For the dog, having a life jacket has helped him feel just a little bit more buoyant in the water so he can be brave and go a little bit deeper. What is it for your kid? Is it having a hold of a comfort toy or being able to visit a place or meet a person briefly first before the big event or the big visit? Also, celebrate the tiny attempts. Learning to celebrate the small things that he will do keeps us realizing and appreciating the fact that he is actually making progress. To remind ourselves how he wouldn't dip a toe in the water before, but now he's getting in and might chase after a stick if it's not too far out. So find what are the things that your child is able to now do that they weren't doing before. And if they have the language, celebrate that with them. Wow, you went a little bit further in, or I noticed you do such and such, and that's really big and brave. This really helps with your child's growth mindset as well, to be able to point out to them the fact that they might not still be like doing the one big scary thing, but look how they're making progress towards that. Finally, I'd suggest find a way for you to be okay about the challenging situation. If your child is really afraid of something that you want to do or a plan that you have, then it can be really difficult for you as well. You're going to have feelings about it. So consider how you can feel okay about it, what is going to still make the situation in any way enjoyable for you, because you matter too. And you know, feelings are an ecosystem and all of our feelings impact each other. So if there's any way that we can reduce our own strong feelings about the, you know, the frustration of the situation, then that's going to help kind of reduce the high emotion stakes of the situation. And remember also that wherever you get, whatever tiny win you can celebrate along the way, you're doing great. And every one of those tiny steps that you're taking together, figuring out, however slow, is a step in the right direction. So keep going, enjoy the process when you can, and I'll see you again around here real soon. Take care.